Good morning, dear students. So, last class we studied about the metallurgical processes, and even the metallurgical processes, two steps already we have discussed. One is crushing and grinding, and another concentration of the ore. Next, third step. Today we are going to study the third step and fourth step. Okay, so third step is extraction of metal. Extraction of metal. So this metal extraction is carried out in two steps. One, conversion of the ore to oxide. Conversion of the ore to metal oxide, because metal oxide are easily reduced than other forms. And B, that is conversion of metal oxide, conversion of metal oxide to metal. Okay, so there are two steps. So first let us come the conversion of the ore to metal oxide. So the ore is converted to metal oxide by two processes. One is either calcination or by roasting. So this conversion of metal oxide into metal, this is again two types. One, that is calcination, and another roasting. So the calcination is a process in which the concentrated ore is heated in a limited supply of air or without air in a refractory furnace just below the melting point of the metal. Okay, so in calcination, the concentrated ore is heated just below the melting point of the metal with limited supply of air or without no supply of air. And generally this calcination is carried out, calcination is generally carried out for hydroxide ores, carbonate ores, etc. So generally these are carried out for carbonate ores, hydroxide ores, etc. So what happens in this process? So in this process, the volatile impurities are removed. If some volatile impurities are there, volatile impurities are removed. So some volatile impurities like suppose arsenic, antimony, etc. present, then these are converted into oxides from this carbonate and hydroxides, oxygen. Okay, so these are removed. And if moisture present, the moisture is removed. So moisture is removed, volatile impurities are removed, and the lower oxides are converted to higher oxides, and the carbonate ores are converted into oxides. So in this way, calcination is a process of heating the ore in a limited supply of air or without supply of air, and generally this calcination carried out in a refractory furnace, and these are heated, the ores are heated, the ore is generally heated at a temperature just below the melting point of metal. So volatile impurities are removed and moisture is removed, and again the carbonate ores are converted to oxides. Suppose copper carbonate is there, CuCO3. It is converted to CuO plus CO2. Calcium carbonate suppose there, it is converted to CaO plus CO2. So in this way these are converted into their oxides. Some suppose aluminum hydroxide is present. So aluminum hydroxide is converted to Al2O3 plus 2H2O. So in this way water particles are removed as gases, and hydroxides are converted to oxides, carbonates are converted into oxides, and So these are and volatile impurities are removed. So these are the calcination process. Next come to roasting. So in roasting process also, this is also carried out in a refractory furnace. The roasting process is also carried out in a refractory furnace. This is also carried out in a refractory furnace. Here also, what happens in roasting? Actually, the concentrated ore is heated in a free supply of air. So the concentrated ore is heated in a free supply of air and just below the melting point of the metal. Here also the ore is heated just below the melting point of the metal. So here also the volatile impurities are removed. If any arsenic, antimony, bismuth, arsenic, antimony, phosphorus like volatile impurities are present, then these are also removed by forming these oxides. And generally this process is carried out for sulfide ores. Calcination carried out for carbonate or hydroxide ores, whereas roasting carried out for sulfide ores. Generally this is carried out for sulfide ores. Iron pyrite, cuprite, suppose these are present, then roasting is carried out. So suppose volatile impurities are present like phosphorus and O2 give rise to P2O5 gases. Arsenic, oxygen, these are converted to AH2O3. And similarly, antimony, oxygen give rise to Sp2O3. So all these impurities are removed and moisture is removed and the metal also becomes porous. So in this way roasting is carried out. So in the roasting or calcination, the metal is converted to its oxide form. Suppose Cu, Fe, H2 is there and oxygen is there. It is converted to Cu2O, FeO and some amount of sulfur dioxide. So the ore is converted into oxide form and sulfur dioxide is generally a byproduct by this process. Similarly, suppose FeH2 and O2. It also gives Fe2O3 plus SO2, sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide is a byproduct generally in roasting processes. Okay, the sulfide ores are converted into its oxides, volatile impurities removed, if moisture present removed, and ore is heated just below the melting point of metal and with free supply of air. So this is the general idea about roasting. So after this conversion of the oxide, then it requires the extraction of metal. So metal extraction, and as the oxide, if you remove oxygen, then you can get the metal. So that process is called reduction. So next process, conversion of the ore into metal oxide, and the second process of extraction of the metal. Second process of extraction of the metal is reduction process. B. Reduction of metal oxide to metal. Reduction of metal oxide to metal. So among all form, the carbonate form, hydroxide form or whatever sulfide form or halide form, in different form, the oxides are easily reduced. In this way, the ore is generally converted to its oxide form. Then reduction of metal oxide to metal. And this reduction, for this reduction of metal oxide to metal, different reducing agents are used, because all metals cannot be reduced by a similar single method. So there are different types of metal and they have different types of behavior. So depending upon the behavior and the activity or reactivity of metals, there are different reduction processes. So some reduction processes here we are going to discuss. So first one is smelting. So smelting is a reduction process in which the reducing agent is generally used either carbon or carbon monoxide, and the metal is generally we get in fusible form. So the process of getting the metal in fusible form, in liquid form, and reduction by carbon or carbon monoxide is known as smelting process. So in smelting process generally a blast furnace is used. Here metal oxide, some charcoal or coke is used, and some other additional substance is also used, and these are heated. So after this heating, the metal oxides are converted into metal. For example, if there is presence of PbO, lead oxide, then by heating with carbon, it gives Pb plus Co. Similarly, if heated with lead oxide, heated with carbon monoxide, it gives Pb plus CO2. Similarly, generally iron oxides are reduced by carbon or carbon monoxide to get pure iron, to get this iron. Okay, so Fe2O3 plus 3C give rise to 2Fe plus 3CO. Similarly, suppose Fe3O4 plus 3CO give rise to 3Fe plus 4CO2. So these are the process, and here I have told that during the smelting process the metal oxide is mixed with carbon or the coke or charcoal and some additional substance, and that additional substance is generally used to remove whatever the other impurities present in this ore. So while concentration of the ore, generally all earth impurities are not clearly removed, and also in calcination it also contains, calcination or roasting process, it also contains some impurities. So these impurities, to remove these impurities, some additional substance are used. So the impurities present is generally known as gangue. The impurities present along with the ore, that are known as gangue. The impurities present along with the ore are known as gangue, and to remove these gangue particles during smelting, some additional substance are used, and that are known as flux. Okay. So during smelting, along with these reducing agents, some additional substance are used. Some additional substance are used. Some additional substance are used that are known as flux to remove the impurities. Okay, so this flux when combines with gangue, generally it forms a fusible product known as slag. So gangue plus flux give rise to slag, and slag being lighter than the metal ore, it flows over the metal and can be removed. Okay, so the flux is generally chosen depending upon the nature of gangue particle. If some acidic gangue are present, acidic means non-metal oxide, silicon dioxide, phosphorus pentoxide, suppose present SiO2 or P2O5, suppose phosphorus pentoxide and silicon dioxide present. For that, generally basic flux is used, CaO, and another here also suppose CaO. Basic flux is used. If acidic gangue, then basic flux is used, and in this case it gives calcium silicate, and in this case it gives calcium phosphate CaSiO3 and it gives Ca3PO4 whole twice. So in this way gang and flux give rise to this. But if the gang is basic, suppose iron oxide is present, iron oxide FeO is present, that is your metal oxide. So this is, suppose this is basic gang, then flux should be used acidic SiO2, acidic, then it forms FeSiO3, that is this slag. So in this way, for basic flux acidic for basic gang acidic flux, and for acidic gang basic flux is used, and this slag are formed. So in this way metal can be reduced. And another reduction process, that is known as your self reduction process. Another reduction process, that is self reduction process. Self-reduction process. In self-reduction process, no other additional reducing agents are used. Generally, in roasting process, so roasting process, some sulfide ores are used. If all the sulfide ores are not completely converted into its oxide form, and there also remains some partial sulfide ores are there. So the sulfide ores and again these oxide ores, they itself combines and they form itself combines and undergo reduction to form metal. Okay, so for example, suppose you have taken the cupride CuFeH2 and on heating it gives you, and on heating with oxygen, it gives you Cu2S plus FeS plus some amount of sulfur dioxide. So 2Cu2S plus 2FeS plus SO2. Okay, again this Cu2S, when it undergo reduction, first it gives you Cu2O plus SO2. So Cu2O plus SO2, so make it balance. Cu2S plus 3O2 give rise to 2Cu2O plus 2SO2. Okay, and again it reacts with this Cu2S. So in this process, all the sulfide ores are not converted into oxide. Some of the sulfide ores are again remain here. So this sulfide ore again combines with this oxide ore to form metal and sulfur dioxide. Okay, so Cu2S plus 2Cu2O give rise to 6Cu plus SO2. So in this way sulfur dioxide gas are produced and metal is formed. Okay, so this is the process. That process is known as self-reduction process. Similarly, suppose metal sulfides like zinc sulfide is there, or mercury sulfide is there, or lead sulfide is there. So when they undergo roasted, all are not completely converted into oxides. These are generally partially form their oxides, and again the sulfides and the oxides, they combine to form metal. For example, suppose PbS plus O2, it gives rise to PbO, but not completely, partially these undergo oxidized form, and again PbS plus PbO give rise to 3Pb plus SO2. So this process is known as self-reduction process. No other reducing agent is required here. Okay. So next reduction process, that is reduction by aluminium. that is called aluminothermy process. In aluminothermy process, next aluminothermy process. Aluminothermy process, here reduction takes place with the help of aluminium. Some metal oxides like manganese oxide, chromium oxide, these are generally not reduced by carbon reduction or by self reduction. So for that, some electropositive metals, more active metals are used. So generally aluminum is used for the reduction. In this process, the metal oxide is treated with or mixed with the metal oxide mixed with aluminum powder and some barium peroxide spread over it, and then a magnesium metal is inserted in it and these are ignited. So due to this ignition of magnesium, when heated, it gives large amount of it, and again that undergo heating of all these mixtures. In this way, it gives large amount of heat, and that heat reduces the metal oxides of manganese and chromium to corresponding metals, that is manganese and chromium. For example, look here, 3Mn3O4 plus 8 aluminium give rise to 9Mn plus 4Al2O3. Al2O3. Similarly, Cr2O3 plus aluminium give rise to Al2O3 plus 2Cr. In this way, metal oxides of manganese and chromium are reduced by aluminium, and here large amount of heat is produced. And these are generally also used in welding process. This is also used in case of welding. So this is aluminothermy process, where aluminum is used as reducing agent. And there are some cases where hydrogen gas and water gas are also used for the reduction process. Then reduction by hydrogen, or next come to reduction by hydrogen or water gas. Reduction by hydrogen and water gas. So water gas is a mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. So there are some metal oxides which are reduced by direct passing hydrogen gas to it. So by direct passing hydrogen gas to it by heating with hydrogen gas. For example, tungsten oxide WO3, when heated with hydrogen, it gives rise to tungsten metal and 3H2O. Similarly, nickel oxide, when treated with water gas, mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen, it gives nickel plus CO2 plus H2O. Okay, so in this way, some are reduced by hydrogen, and another reduction process is that is known as your hydrometallurgy. Another reduction process that is known as your hydrometallurgy. In hydrometallurgy process, this is also a chemical process. So this process is also, you can say, the complex formation process. Generally these are used for the extraction of silver and gold like metals. This is also one type of, we can say, concentration process. So that is hydrometallurgy process, or we can say complex formation process. So generally metals are not in the form of oxides here. Generally in sulfide forms are there or any other forms are there. Then these are treated with hydrometallurgy process and generally used for extraction of silver, gold, etc. Okay, look here. Suppose silver oxide, silver sulfide is there, Ag2S. Then it treated with sodium cyanide. Silver sulfide suppose there, then this is treated with sodium aqueous solution of sodium cyanide. So when it treated with aqueous solution of sodium cyanide, it gives a complex of silver NaAgCN whole twice. So in this way it forms a complex and plus Na2S sodium sulfide, and this complex when treated with another metal like zinc and etc., then this metal is extracted. So for example, NaAgCN whole twice, this complex treated with zinc, then it gives rise to Na2ZnCN whole 4 plus 2Ag. In this way silver is extracted. Okay, so this process is known as hydrometallurgy process. And another important process that is known as your electrometallurgy process. So another process that is known as electrometallurgy process. Electrometallurgy, we can say electrical reduction process. Electrical reduction process. So this reduction takes place by the application of electricity, that is by electrolysis method. So metals like sodium, calcium, magnesium, potassium, so these are highly reactive metals and these are also used as reducing agents. So metals like sodium, potassium, calcium, aluminum, magnesium, etc., these are generally used as reducing agents. In this way these cannot be reduced by carbon or hydrogen, carbon monoxide, hydrogen or manganese, etc. So generally these very active metals, these reactive metals are generally reduced by electrolytic reduction process. So the metals which have high oxidation potential or which are very reactive in nature, generally these are reduced by electrolytic reduction process. So in this process, generally the metal oxides or metal halides are mixed with some other type of substances to reduce the fusion temperature and to increase the conductivity. For example, if aluminum oxide is there, in aluminum oxide it is mixed with some cryolites, so that the melting point of this mixture decreases and the conductivity increases, and that metal oxides or the metal halides in fusible state that acts as electrolyte and two metal electrodes are used. In this way, the pure metal is generally deposited at cathode. For example, if NaCl is there, so this Na sodium chloride, a molten sodium chloride, pure sodium chloride, it gives Na plus and Cl minus. Then at cathode, Na plus electron give rise to Na, and Na plus Na, sodium, and sorry, Na give rise to Na. So sodium metal is deposited. But at anode, Cl minus electron give rise to chlorine atom, and chlorine atom combines to form chlorine gas. So to the mixture of molten sodium chloride, some amount of calcium chloride or calcium chloride are used so that it decreases its melting point. Similarly, in case of extraction of aluminium, generally along with this aluminium oxide, some amount of along this aluminium oxide, some amount of cryolite is used so that it some amount of cryolite is used so that it decreases the melting point and increases the conductivity. So actually this AlF3 when undergo electrolysis it gives Al3 plus 3F minus, and at cathode this Al3 plus 3 electron give rise to aluminium. Aluminium deposited at cathode, and this at anode this F minus electron give rise to F, and this F reacts with Al2O3 reacts with F to give Al3, and it reacts with Al3 and oxygen. So in this is chlorine combines here. Actually electrolysis of aluminum chloride takes place. So this is known as electrolytic reduction method. And after this electrolytic reduction method, generally we get all metals. But all these metals still are not in pure form. They also contain some impurities that may be due to roasting, that may be due to calcination process, that may be due to some portions of slag there, and some other impurities are also there. In this way, all these require to get this pure metal, all these crude metals require refining. So the last step is refining. For the extraction of the metallurgical process, for the extraction of metal or the metallurgical process, the fourth step is refining process. Fourth step is refining process. So the refining process, these are also different types depending upon the nature of metal. Depending on the nature of the metal, the refining processes are also different types for different metals. So one is distillation. Distillation process. Some metals, they have very low boiling points. These can be easily converted into gaseous form. So for that metals, generally distillation process is carried out. For example, mercury is easily converted into gaseous form. So when mercury oxide is there and that is heated, that gives you mercury and oxygen. So first it gives HgO, gives Hg and O2. Okay, on heating, and this mercury under distillation it is converted into gaseous form. If any other impurities are present, then that left behind below this container, and this mercury distills off, and these are collected there, and after cooling again we get the liquid mercury. So in this way, that is known as a distillation process, which have lower boiling point metals, which have lower boiling point, these are generally extracted by this distillation process. And another process that is known as your liquefaction process. Liquefaction process. In this liquefaction process, the metal along with its impurities are heated in a sloping bath. So there is a sloping bath, and here some metals and ores are there, and these are heated. Here it heated. and which have melting point is very less. The metals which have melting point is very, so here these are heated and this contains your impure metals. Impure metals. And the metals which have lower melting point than that of impurities, generally these are extracted by this method. So when these are heated, the pure metal converted into liquid form, and when it is in the sloping hull, it flows down and it is collected. Flows down and collected, while the impurities left behind. So in this way, this process is known as liquefaction process. So metals like tin and lead can be refined by liquefaction process. Next come to another process that is called pooling. That is called reduction. Okay, reduction of unreduced oxide on reduced oxide, that is by pooling. Another refining process, that is pooling. So if some metal oxides are not reduced, it is again in oxide form, still in oxide form, then these oxides are melted and then treated with green poles of wood or green pieces of wood. So and these are stirred and heated with stirring it. So if any oxides are present, then that combines with the green poles of this wood. So what are the green poles of the wood? What are the gases formed by the heating of these green poles? So these gases combines with the oxygen of this oxide, and these gases are removed. So these are removed as different oxide forms, and pure metal can be obtained. So and the pure metal can be obtained. So in this way, metal is reduced by green poles of wood. So by using green poles of wood, what are the gases present in the green poles? That are generally oxidized by the oxygen present in the metal oxide. So in this way, pure metal can be obtained. Next, another important reduction process, that is known as your refining process, that is known as your electrolytic refining process. Electrolytic refining process. In electrolytic refining process, the impure metal is taken as the anode. This is the impure metal. Impure metal is taken as the anode, and pure metal is taken as cathode. Some pieces of pure metal is taken as the cathode, and some solutions of metal taken as electrolyte. Some solutions of metal taken as electrolyte, and when electricity is passed through them, then pure metal, and at this cathode pure metal get deposited. At the same time, same amount of metal is converted into solution. So metal converted to solution dissolves in the solution in the form of ion, and from this ion pure metal is generally obtained. For example, for the extraction of copper, generally impure copper taken as anode, pure copper taken as cathode, and copper sulfate solution containing some amount of sulfuric acid, copper sulfate solution taken as electrolyte. So first, copper sulfate breaks Cu2 plus SO4 2 minus, then at cathode Cu2 plus 2 electron. This Cu2 plus plus cathode, receive 2 electron, converted to C copper, and at anode this copper loses its electron, give rise to Cu2 plus 2 electron. So copper dissolves here, gives copper 2 plus, and copper 2 plus again converted into copper. In this way, from this impure metal, pure metal can be obtained. Okay, so this is known as your refining process. And another process, refining process, there are also different processes of refining, and another refining process is vapor phase refining. Another is known as vapor phase refining. In vapor phase refining process, the metal is converted into its gaseous form by heating with some other compounds, and again these are converted into metal by the decomposition of that compound. So there are vapor phase refining, two examples are there, two processes are there. One is known as Van Arkel method, Van Arkel process, in which generally titanium metal is refined, and another is known as Mons process. Mons process, in which generally nickel is refined. So in Van Arkel process, this titanium treated with iodine to form titanium tetraiodide on heating at a temperature, and again when this is heated, this is first converted into titanium tetraiodide, and again when this is heated, it is decomposes to give titanium and 2 iodine. Similarly, in Mons process, this suppose impure nickel is there, impure nickel metal heated with carbon monoxide. So first it gives NiCO4 nickel tetracarbonyl, and which again when heated, this is converted into gaseous form. This is also converted into gaseous form. And nickel tetracarbonyl again when heated, it gives nickel metal and carbon monoxide. So this is in pure form, this is in pure form, and this is impure nickel, and this is impure titanium. So this is process is known as vapor. So here the temperature maintained is generally 60 to 80 degrees Celsius, and here 180 degree to 200 degree Celsius. So this process are vapor phase refining processes. Next, another process of refining that is known as cupellation. Another refining process that is known as cupellation. So in this cupellation process, generally silver metal is purified if it contains impurities like lead. So in this way, the impure metal along with the impurities of lead is generally heated in a cupel, which is made of bone ash. So it is heated in a cupel that is made of bone ash. So some and suppose it contains silver and lead, and air is oxygen, air is blown through it, and when it is heated, so metal is converted into lead oxide, which form in gaseous form, which is converted into gaseous form, and that can be removed. Metal converted to its oxide form, lead converted to oxide form, and that can be removed as in gaseous form, and pure silver is formed. And some of these metal oxide is also reacts with this bone ash. So in this way, pure silver metal is obtained. And again, so this is known this process by refining of silver metal by using a cupel is known as your cupellation process. And another refining process that is known as zone refining. In zone refining process, generally extra pure metal is obtained. So another process that is known as zone refining. In zone refining process, generally this is used for the extraction of semiconductors like silicon, germanium, etc. So it requires the pure form. So in this way, zone refining is used, and zone refining process generally used for that where impurities are more soluble in molten form than that of solid form. Okay, so in this way, a rod of impure metallic rod is taken to it, a circular heater is rounded over it. Circular, so this is the impure metal, and a circular heater is rounded over it. And when a circular rounded heater is circular heater is rounded over it, and which is movable. So when it moves along the rod, when this heater moves along the rod, it melts the metal along with the impurities. And when it moves from one side to another side, when this heater moves from one side to another side, if it moves, then what are the impurities present that are again come back to one end, where molten metal is present, and here pure metal crystallizes out. So repeating this process. So first one time, if it is this heater moves from one end to another end, so some portions of impurities removed to one side, and again when this process repeated from one end to another end, then again repeated from one end to another end, then it again removes all the impurities. So repeating this process and again at one side of the rod, the impurities are present and pure rod remains another side. So this is known as your zone refining. So by zone wise it is refined, that's why this is known as your zone refining. And another blaster method is known as chromatographic method. In chromatographic method, generally we get the metals in very minute quantities. So in a column chromatographic method, generally these are used. So some adsorbents in chromatographic plate, there are some adsorbents are used, and in these adsorbents, the metals along with some solvents, metal impurities along with some solvents are poured over it, and depending upon what is the adsorption power of metal, all these metals absorbed by it, and by using some eluent, again these metals are removed from it. So that process is known as chromatographic method. In chromatographic method, very minute quantities of metals are extracted. Which metals are present in very minute quantities? Generally that are extracted by or refined by chromatographic method. So these are these steps, these are the processes to extract the metals. So let us look at the flow chart of it. So first step is crushing and grinding, Then the second step is concentration of the ore, So this is of this concentration process. This is of different types. So one is your gravity separation or hydraulic separation, another magnetic separation, another froth flotation, and another leaching. Then conversion or extraction of metal, here first conversion to metal oxide. This is of two types, one calcination, another roasting. Okay, and B, 3B, that is reduction process. Reduction processes are also various types: electrolytic reduction, self reduction, hydrogen reduction, smelting, aluminothermy. So there are different types of refining processes. And again, last one is refining processes. Refining, and this refining is also different types. One, electrolytic refining, boiling, distillation, liquefaction, next vapor phase, refining, zone refining, and last one chromatographic. So these are the overall processes for the extraction of metals. Depending on the nature of different metal, so different processes are carried out. So this is for today.